Top 10 Young Women Weaknesses Each Old Man Must Know. Did you know that 35% of marriages in the United States involve couples with an age gap of more than 10 years, according to the US Census Bureau? Yet, despite this growing trend, many older men find themselves puzzled when it comes to understanding the dynamics of dating younger women. It's easy to assume that these relationships are driven by superficial factors, but there's a deeper layer that often goes unnoticed. Younger women today are navigating a world filled with evolving societal expectations, career pressures, and the ever-present influence of social media. These elements can create challenges that aren't immediately obvious to the untrained eye. What if you could gain an insider's perspective, learning what truly makes these relationships tick? By understanding the nuances and hidden dynamics, you could enhance your connection and avoid common pitfalls. Intrigued? Keep reading to uncover insights that could transform your dating experience with younger women. The real secrets are just ahead. Weakness 1. Fear of commitment, despite appearing mature. It's a curious paradox. Young women often present themselves as mature and ready for the world, yet beneath that veneer, they harbor a deep-seated fear of commitment. For older men seeking a relationship with a younger woman, this can be a perplexing and sometimes frustrating dynamic. These women, who seem to have their lives together, are often afraid of being tied down, fearing the loss of their identity and freedom. This fear isn't unfounded. In a world that increasingly values individualism and personal growth, young women are acutely aware of the potential sacrifices that come with a serious commitment. They worry about losing themselves in a relationship, about becoming so enmeshed with their partner that they can no longer distinguish where they end and their partner begins. This fear can manifest in various ways, from hesitancy to label the relationship to outright avoidance of long-term plans. For the older man, this can be confusing. He might see a poised, confident woman who speaks of her ambitions and goals with clarity and passion. Yet, when the conversation turns to the future, she may become evasive or even anxious. It's important to recognize that this behavior isn't about a lack of interest or affection. Instead, it's a reflection of her internal struggle between wanting to grow as an individual and the fear of losing that autonomy within a relationship. However, if she doesn't want to commit, do you feel uneasy about the relationship? Comment with a 3. Weakness 2. Overemphasis on physical appearance. Have you noticed how many young women seem to be inseparable from their handheld mirrors? For older men involved with younger women, this obsession with physical appearance can be both bewildering and telling. This fixation on appearance can manifest in numerous ways. Some young women may constantly check their reflections, seeking reassurance that they look perfect. They might spend hours on their makeup and hair, meticulously crafting their appearance before stepping out. While this attention to detail can be flattering, it also hints at a more profound insecurity. Societal expectations play a significant role here. We live in a culture that often equates a woman's worth with her physical attractiveness, and this pressure is amplified for younger women dating older men. They might feel that to compete with their partner's previous experiences or the imagined allure of more mature women, they must be exceptionally beautiful. This belief can lead to a relentless pursuit of physical perfection, driven by the fear of not being good enough. The age difference exacerbates these insecurities. A younger woman might feel that her youth is her primary asset in the relationship, overshadowing other qualities like intelligence, kindness, or shared interests. This can create a cycle of constant self-scrutiny and comparison, where she measures herself against other women and her partner's past relationships. The result? An overemphasis on looks, sometimes at the expense of emotional and intellectual connection. For the older man, this can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's flattering to be with someone who takes pride in their appearance. On the other, it can be disheartening to see your partner place so much importance on something as transient as physical beauty. It's crucial to recognize that this behavior stems from a place of vulnerability and societal conditioning rather than superficiality. To navigate this, it's important to offer reassurance that her value extends far beyond her looks. Compliment her on her achievements, her personality, and the unique qualities that drew you to her. Make it clear that while her appearance is certainly appreciated, it is not the sole reason for your attraction or affection. What's your perspective if she places too much importance on her appearance? Do you think it's normal, or do you feel she's overly focused on superficiality? Weakness 3. Parental overprotection. You might notice your younger partner constantly fussing over your well-being, from reminding you about your doctor's appointments to ensuring you've eaten properly. At first glance, this can appear as caring attentiveness. However, delve a bit deeper, and it becomes evident that this overprotectiveness often stems from her own insecurities and a desire to shield the relationship from external scrutiny. Young women frequently find themselves in a paradoxical position of craving independence while simultaneously being heavily influenced by their upbringing. Many have been treated like princesses by their parents, pampered and protected throughout their formative years. This kind of upbringing can instill a sense of dependency and an ingrained habit of looking after those they care about in a somewhat parental manner. When she transitions into a relationship with an older man, these patterns often resurface, manifesting as overprotective behavior. This overprotectiveness can serve as a defense mechanism against the judgment of others and her own internal fears. Society often views age gap relationships with skepticism, prompting the younger partner to adopt a protective stance. She might fear that any sign of vulnerability or criticism towards you could be seized upon by others as evidence that the relationship is flawed or doomed to fail. By being overly protective, she tries to safeguard not just you, but the perception of your relationship as well. On the flip side, this behavior might also be a manifestation of her anxiety about the future of the relationship. Younger women in such dynamics might worry about the long-term viability and societal acceptance of their partnership. Her protectiveness can be an attempt to exert control over an uncertain future, reassuring herself that by taking care of you, she is also taking care of the relationship's longevity. Before we get into the next topic, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. This helps the YouTube algorithm recommend our video to a broader audience. We appreciate your support. Weakness 4. Struggle with traditional gender roles. Picture this. You're enjoying a quiet dinner with your younger partner, and out of the blue, a casual comment about women's work leads to an unexpectedly heated discussion. The struggle with traditional gender roles is a battlefield many older men might not expect to find themselves on, but it's one that can be navigated with a bit of understanding and a pinch of modern insight. Younger women today are often raised on a steady diet of feminist ideals, independence, and equality. They're taught to pursue their dreams, speak their minds, and expect an equal partnership in every sense of the word. This is quite a departure from the era many older men grew up in, where roles were more defined and societal expectations were clearer, albeit more restrictive. This difference can lead to what feels like a tug-of-war over expectations and responsibilities. This clash often stems from deeply ingrained societal norms versus the evolving views of gender equality. Younger women like Jenna are navigating a world that encourages them to shatter glass ceilings, while older men might unintentionally press pause, reverting to the traditional playbook. One way to bridge this gap is through open, honest communication. It's about putting everything on the table: values, expectations, and insecurities. Mark might start by acknowledging the generational gap and expressing his support for Jenna's career. Jenna, in turn, can share her need for partnership that feels equal and free from antiquated expectations. Moreover, older men can learn to appreciate the strengths their younger partners bring to the relationship. Younger women often come with fresh perspectives, innovative ideas, and a drive that can be incredibly energizing. By valuing these contributions, men can move away from traditional roles and towards a partnership that celebrates each person's unique attributes. In conclusion, the struggle with traditional gender roles is a common but surmountable hurdle in age-gap relationships. By embracing open communication, modern perspectives, and a bit of humor, older men can build stronger, more egalitarian partnerships with their younger counterparts. It's all about finding that sweet spot where both partners feel valued, respected, and free to be themselves. After all, in the grand scheme of love, it's not about who wears the pants, but how you dance together through life. Weakness 5. Emotional rollercoaster. Due to life experience gap. Alright, buckle up, gents, because we're about to dive into the whirlwind that is dating a younger woman. Think of it as strapping yourself into an emotional rollercoaster, complete with unexpected twists and thrilling drops. It's all part of the ride when there's a significant gap in life experience. For younger women, life is still a big, wide-open adventure filled with possibilities. This can lead to intense emotions and, at times, unrealistic expectations. They might swing from ecstatic joy at landing a new job to deep disappointment when things don't go as planned. Older men, with their wealth of experience, approach these situations with a bit more equilibrium, having learned that life's ups and downs are part of the journey. One minute she's over the moon dreaming big and planning your future together down to the tiniest detail. Next, she's questioning everything, feeling lost, and looking to you for answers. This emotional rollercoaster can be exhausting if you're not prepared for it. But remember, it's not about trying to fix everything for her. It's about being there, understanding that she's still figuring things out. The emotional rollercoaster can also be fueled by the younger partner's quest for identity and life goals. Younger women might hold romanticized views of relationships, expecting them to fulfill all their needs and desires. When reality doesn't match these expectations, it can lead to disappointment and emotional volatility. This is where your experience and wisdom can provide stability and perspective. By offering a steady hand and a calming presence, you help her navigate through her emotional highs and lows. Communication is your best ally in this scenario. Instead of stepping in to solve every problem, try saying something like, "I've been through something similar. It's tough now, but you'll come out stronger on the other side." This kind of support shows empathy without overshadowing her experience. It reassures her that she's not alone and that her feelings are valid, but also that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Patience is also a key ingredient. Just as you wouldn't rush the aging of a fine wine, you shouldn't rush emotional maturity. It takes time and experience for younger women to grow into their emotional selves. By being patient and giving her the space to grow, you support her journey without being overbearing. This means sometimes stepping back and letting her experience the natural consequences of her choices, which is a crucial part of her emotional development. Managing expectations is crucial too. Younger women, influenced by media and societal pressures, might have high and sometimes unrealistic expectations from the relationship. You can help ground these expectations by sharing your own experiences and setting realistic, achievable goals for the partnership. This doesn't mean dampening her enthusiasm, but rather providing a balanced perspective that helps her see the bigger picture. Weakness 6. Impulsiveness in major decisions. Gentlemen, let's talk about one of the more challenging aspects of dating a younger woman: impulsiveness in major decisions. This isn't just about deciding to take a spontaneous weekend trip or getting an impulsive haircut. We're talking about significant life choices made on a whim, without fully considering the long-term consequences. It's like diving headfirst into a pool without checking if there's water in it. Younger women, full of energy and zest for life, often thrive on the thrill of the moment. This can be incredibly refreshing and inject a sense of adventure into your relationship. However, it also means that she might sometimes act before thinking things through. Whether it's a career change, moving to a new city, or making a significant financial investment, these decisions can have far-reaching impacts on both your lives. Imagine she gets an exciting job offer across the country. The opportunity sounds fantastic, and she's ready to pack up and go. But wait, what about your job, your home, and your settled life? She might not fully grasp the magnitude of such a move in both your lives. It's not that she doesn't care, it's more that her enthusiasm sometimes eclipses the practicalities. This impulsiveness often stems from a blend of youthful optimism and a lack of life experience. Younger women are still figuring out who they are and what they want from life. They might not have faced enough setbacks to appreciate the importance of cautious deliberation. It's all part of the learning curve, Now, this doesn't mean you should act like a wet blanket every time she comes up with an idea. Instead, think of yourself as a grounding force, helping her to see the broader picture. One effective way to handle this is by encouraging open dialogue. Ask her, what are the pros and cons of this decision? How will it impact us in the long run? This approach isn't about shooting down her ideas, but about guiding her to consider all angles before jumping in. You also need to recognize when to compromise. There will be times when her impulsive decisions lead to wonderful experiences you might not have considered otherwise. It's a balance between embracing her spontaneity and ensuring it doesn't derail your shared goals and stability. Furthermore, share your own experiences and lessons learned from impulsive decisions you've made in the past. This can provide her with valuable insights and help her understand the potential consequences of her actions. Say something like, I once made a snap decision to invest in a business without thorough research, and it taught me the importance of due diligence. Before we jump into the next lesson, here's a shocking stat. 98% of viewers don't leave comments or hit the like button. If you found this lesson helpful, drop a comment saying, useful, and smash that like button to show your support. We truly appreciate you. Weakness 7. Social media influence and validation. For younger women, this influence can be particularly potent, often leading to an almost insatiable need for validation through likes, comments, and shares. When you're in a relationship with someone significantly younger, it's essential to understand how this digital world can affect her self-esteem and, by extension, the dynamics of your relationship. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Social media is a curated highlight reel. It's where people showcase their best moments, most flattering angles, and seemingly perfect lives. For younger women, who might still be figuring out their identity and place in the world, this constant comparison can create a distorted sense of reality. When she sees her peers posting glamorous photos, achieving life milestones, or getting showered with compliments, it can lead to feelings of inadequacy and insecurity. Why don't I look like that? Or, why isn't my life as exciting? These questions can chip away at her self-esteem, even if she's aware that social media is just a filtered version of reality. Now here's where it gets tricky for your relationship. If she's constantly seeking validation from social media, she might start placing undue pressure on herself and on you to maintain a certain image. This could manifest in various ways: spending excessive time editing photos, obsessing over the number of likes a post receives, or even comparing your relationship to those she sees online. These comparisons are often unrealistic and can create unnecessary tension. This need for validation can also impact her self-worth. If a post doesn't receive the expected level of attention, she might take it personally, thinking she's not attractive enough, interesting enough, or even loved enough. This can lead to mood swings, self-doubt, and in some cases, withdrawal. You might notice that she's more preoccupied with her phone, seemingly disengaged from real-life interactions, and more concerned with what her online followers think than what truly matters. So, how can you navigate this digital minefield? First, it's crucial to create a safe and supportive environment where she feels valued for who she is, not just how she appears online. Compliment her on qualities that social media can't capture: her kindness, intelligence, and the way she makes you laugh. Show her that she doesn't need external validation to feel worthy or loved. It's also helpful to have open conversations about the impact of social media. Share your observations without being judgmental. Encouraging real-life experiences over digital ones can also make a difference. Suggest activities that don't revolve around social media, like a weekend getaway where you both unplug, or a hobby that focuses on creativity rather than online validation. These moments help build a stronger connection between the two of you, free from the pressures of social media. Weakness 8. Difficulty with generational communication styles. When you're dating someone significantly younger, one of the first hurdles you might encounter is the difference in communication styles. It's not just about the words you use, but also how you use them, the technology you rely on, and the cultural references you share or don't share. These generational gaps can sometimes feel like you're speaking two different languages, leading to misunderstandings and frustration. Then there's the issue of slang and cultural references. You might crack a joke referencing a classic movie or a famous event from your youth, only to be met with a blank stare or a polite smile. It's not that she lacks a sense of humor, she just might not get the reference. These moments can create a sense of distance, as if you're from two different worlds, even when you're sitting in the same room. Technology further complicates things. While you might be comfortable with email and traditional media, she's likely more at home with social media platforms, video calls, and even the latest apps you've never heard of. This difference can lead to frustration when you're trying to share something meaningful and the medium gets in the way. But here's the thing. These communication barriers aren't insurmountable. They just require a bit of patience, adaptability, and a willingness to learn from each other. One way to bridge the gap is by making a conscious effort to understand her preferred communication style. If she's more comfortable texting, try to engage with her on that platform, even if it's not your first choice. Similarly, introduce her to the joys of a long, meaningful phone call or a face-to-face conversation over a coffee. Humor can also play a crucial role. Instead of getting frustrated when she doesn't catch your references, turn it into a learning moment. Explain the joke or the cultural significance behind it. This not only helps her understand you better, but also adds depth to your connection as you share stories and experiences from different eras. It's equally important to show interest in her world. Ask her to explain the slang or trends she follows. This not only helps you stay in the loop, but also demonstrates that you're invested in her life and interests. Plus, you might even find some of these new trends amusing or enlightening, broadening your own horizons in the process. Weakness 9. Overlooking long-term compatibility. When you're in the early stages of a relationship with a younger woman, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of newness, those butterflies in the stomach, the thrill of shared experiences, and the simple joy of companionship. However, one of the most significant challenges that can arise in such relationships is the tendency for younger women to overlook long-term compatibility. While it's perfectly natural for any new relationship to focus on the here and now, this short-term focus can sometimes mask deeper issues that could affect the relationship's longevity. Younger women, particularly those who are still exploring their identity and life goals, may prioritize the immediate emotional connection or physical attraction they feel. They might be drawn to the stability, wisdom, and life experience that an older man offers, seeing it as a refreshing change from relationships with men their own age. The appeal of being with someone who has been there, done that, can be strong, providing a sense of security and maturity that's often lacking in younger relationships. However, this initial attraction can sometimes overshadow the practicalities of long-term compatibility. For example, you might be at a stage in your life where you're looking for a partner who shares your interests in travel, hobbies, or even future family planning. Meanwhile, she might still be figuring out what she wants out of life, her career, or even where she wants to live. These differences can create a disconnect that becomes more apparent as the relationship progresses. One common issue is the difference in life goals. An older man might be looking to settle down, enjoy a quiet life, or even retire, while a younger woman might be more focused on advancing her career, exploring new opportunities, or even starting a family, an area where your timelines might not align. These differences can lead to difficult conversations about the future, where compromises might be harder to reach. Moreover, there's the issue of social circles. Your friends and her friends might be at very different life stages, which can create challenges when it comes to socializing as a couple. While you may enjoy a dinner party with peers who have similar life experiences, she might still be in a phase where going out with a group of friends is more appealing. These differences, while seemingly minor at first, can compound over time and create a sense of disconnect. It's also worth noting that long-term compatibility isn't just about aligning on practical matters. Emotional maturity, conflict resolution styles, and even communication preferences play a huge role in the success of a relationship. If these aren't in sync, the initial spark can quickly fizzle out, leaving both parties feeling frustrated and misunderstood. So, how do you navigate this potential pitfall? The key lies in open, honest communication from the outset. While it might not be the most romantic topic to bring up, discussing your long-term goals and expectations early on can save a lot of heartache down the road. It's important to have candid conversations about where you see the relationship going, what you both want out of life, and how you can support each other's dreams and aspirations. Weakness. 10. Pressure to prove relationships' legitimacy. One of the most subtle yet significant challenges younger women face in relationships with older men is the pressure to prove their relationship's legitimacy. While love and connection might come naturally between the two of you, society often has its own set of opinions, sometimes unspoken, sometimes loud and clear, about what's acceptable when it comes to age differences. This external scrutiny can place a heavy burden on your younger partner, making her feel like she has to justify her relationship to others constantly. Imagine a scenario where you both attend a social event and the curious glances or whispered comments start as soon as you walk in together. While you might brush off the judgment, having faced it before, she might feel the need to defend your relationship, explaining to friends or family that it's more than just a fleeting romance or a phase. This pressure can stem from the fear that others might view the relationship as superficial, based on material gains or physical attraction rather than genuine connection. This need to constantly validate the relationship can become exhausting for her. It's not just about defending the relationship to friends or family, but also to herself. Social media doesn't make this any easier. With everyone's lives on display, she might feel the need to portray a perfect relationship online, posting photos that show you as the happy couple, engaging in activities that prove you're compatible. The reality, however, is that this pressure can create a disconnect, as the focus shifts from simply enjoying the relationship to managing public perceptions. The fear of judgment can also lead her to overcompensate in other areas. This pressure can also lead to her feeling isolated. If she perceives that her friends or family don't approve of the relationship, she might start pulling away from them, either to avoid uncomfortable conversations or because she feels they don't understand her choices. This isolation can be emotionally taxing, making her feel like she has to choose between her partner and her social circle, a dilemma no one should have to face. The key to navigating this challenge lies in creating a safe and supportive space where she feels valued for who she is, not just for how she fits into societal expectations. Open communication is crucial. Talking about these pressures and how they affect her can help alleviate some of the burden. Reassuring her that you're both on the same team, regardless of what others might think, can strengthen your connection. It's also important to remind her that your relationship is your business and no one else's. The opinions of others, while sometimes hurtful, don't define the legitimacy of your bond. Celebrating your relationship's uniqueness rather than hiding it can be empowering for both of you. Over time, as the relationship proves itself through shared experiences and mutual support, the need to prove anything to others will naturally diminish. So, gentlemen, we've just peeled back the layers on the top 10 weaknesses younger women might never reveal, but that you absolutely need to know. Understanding these vulnerabilities isn't just about gaining the upper hand. It's about building a stronger, more genuine connection with the younger women in your life. Whether it's navigating the pressures of social media, overcoming generational communication gaps, or recognizing the emotional rollercoasters due to life experience differences. Being aware of these issues is the first step in bridging those gaps. Remember, it's not about manipulating or exploiting these weaknesses. It's about being the kind of partner who understands, supports, and helps them grow. By acknowledging these challenges, you're positioning yourself not just as an older man with experience, but as someone who's truly in tune with what she needs and values. That's the kind of man who leaves a lasting impression, far beyond what looks or age can achieve. Now, if this video gave you some valuable insights, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button, drop a comment below, and let us know which point resonated with you the most. And if you've got friends who could use some pointers, go ahead and share this video with them. We've got plenty more coming your way, so make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. After all, understanding women isn't just a one-time lesson, it's a journey. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.